Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenmara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to see this, I would like to offer your bonus reading for the elemental energy of fire for October of 2025. And for the bonus readings, I like to use the basic Celtic cross. It gives us a good idea of kind of where you're at the moment, gives you an overview of where everything is falling into place, or maybe something that needs to be shifted out of place. But it's a good way to just kind of give us an idea of what's going on. So that's what we're doing today. And then after I do the Celtic cross one, we will pull a couple of oracle cards just to get a little more clarity, maybe answer a question or two for you personally, just kind of get an idea of what all the fates have in play or at play or in store or all that fun stuff. But it's just, again, these are for entertainment purposes, but if something resonates for you, feel free to comment and let me know down below. And if you see something different with the cards than what I see, I read intuitively, so I let source bring in the information. So if you see something different, feel free to drop that in the comments down below as well. With that, we will get started with your significator card. This is who you are in totality in this snapshot of time, and it is the Sire of Swords. So we're working with some air energy here, and it's really saying that you've accomplished a great deal and you've achieved certain goals. The Sire in this aspect I like to see as kind of an apprentice almost, where you've done a lot, you've achieved a lot, but you're not done yet. You're taking a moment to kind of stop and smell the roses energy. And with the Sire of Swords, with this air, you're also understanding that sometimes it's good to let your mind rest. It's maybe a good idea to just, you've achieved a great deal here, now it's time to kind of take a little bit of a break. Like when you get done with school, when you were still in school, or if you're still in school now, when you're done for the day, even if you have stuff to study for, you let your brain kind of settle down for a little bit and then start back in, because it's good to have that rest, and that's the energy I'm getting right now. So that which crosses you, so this could be a challenge or something that you need to kind of work through or deal with, is the Seven of Cups. Getting a little bit of a lost in the illusions energy here, kind of getting way too wrapped up in daydreams. There is an energy of taking a break and letting your mind wander a little bit, but the challenge is not to get lost in that. Whether that is reading, playing video games, watching YouTube shorts, or TikTok, or whatever it is you do, don't get wrapped up in that. Let your mind have its moment and relax, but don't let that become such a long-term thing that you forget you have other things going on. And that's the energy, is it's don't get wrapped up in the illusions that are being offered to you. And that could be illusions also in life, where there's an illusion of poverty, there's an illusion of lack, there's an illusion of something not going the right way. Sometimes they don't go the right way because there's something better coming along, and this is saying don't look at the illusion and say this is what is real, because it may not be. Your higher self energy is the Page of Swords, and so this is the Sire is more the Knight, sorry. The Page is more gentle energy. This one is, you're here to assist the Knight. You're here to assist the Sire. And your higher self is coming in to be your assist. It's coming in to aid you in your relaxing. Notice this particular dragon sword is still at the ready. Things are ready to go if needed. But it's not saying that you have to do it right this second. It's saying enjoy the view. Look where you're at right now. Your higher self is saying look at how far you've come. Look what you've achieved. You've already done Ace through 10. Now you're into the court cards. So you've achieved a great deal here. And it's saying don't get wrapped up in the minutia. It's not worth, like the devil's in the details. You're kind of beyond that now. But your higher self is saying take the time, be at the ready for when things, if something does happen to pop off, whatever that may be, good, bad, and different. Be ready for that, but it's okay to not rush all the time. Well, allowing yourself a break is not a bad thing. So the energy of your shadow, or your lower self, your hidden self, is the number 10 Wheel of Fortune, Major Arcana, big life lesson energy here. And it's saying this is a cycle of time. This is a cycle of life for you. You've been through a really busy section of time, and now it's time for things to quiet down for a second. Take a little bit of a break, take a little mental vacation, so to speak. It could be a physical vacation, but they keep focusing on the mind with the air energy, so we'll go with that. And it's a really good time to just rest. Your shadow is saying, Fire, your shadow wants you to know that rushing, running, and always doing is not always a good thing. It doesn't benefit you in the long term to constantly be on the run, to constantly be rushing. Taking some time for downtime, taking a breather, reading that book you've been putting off for the last 6 months, maybe even flipping on that show you've been wanting to watch for 2 years. Just watch an episode. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. Some of us binge watch and some people don't. But take the time, because the cycle of life is saying this is an opportunity for rest, because it's going to pick up again eventually. That's the cycle we're looking at. But this is a good time for rest and quiet. So take the opportunities that are offered by the universe. Your previous history, you have a lot of air going on here. So there's been some mental, your focus has been on the mind, education, learning. Could be school, could be something going on with work, where you've been in a either teaching role or a learning role. And I'm getting a lot of where you're at now with that sire energy. You're kind of in the teaching aspect of it. You're not fully to the top yet, but you're on your path there. So your history is the 9 of Swords. There's been some kind of a loss. You've had something has been lost from you, and it's causing a lot of negative memories. Dragon's crying over his companion that has fallen. And you wish you could have done something different. You wish you could have done something better. And this is really giving this energy of, if you live too much in the past, you'll stay there. And this is reminding you, yes, there were mistakes in the past, but those mistakes helped you become who you are today, Fire. You don't live there still. You've moved beyond that. The memories are still going to be there, and they're still going to sting. There's no magic eraser for that. But you've grown beyond living there. The memories are still there, and you're still going to look back and be like, man, I wish I could have done that different. If that person is still on the physical plane, talk to them about it if they're willing to listen. And if not, you can always go to the astral plane, do some meditation, and forgive what happened. And that's something that's they're bringing up, and that's where this mind aspect is. This is not just an emotion thing. This is a mental thing. Like there were mistakes made in the past, and you're carrying a grievance that they want you to know you can let go of. It's not worth carrying anymore. And your immediate future, the next 1 month, 6 months, or a year, is the 8 of Pentacles. You're definitely figuring some things out. There's definitely some prosperity and abundance energy coming in here. And they're saying that you're kind of gotten focused on one aspect of how this is going to happen. But the universe wants you to know there's more than one way that you're going to get this prosperity energy. And there's also an energy that's coming up is a little bit of greed with that. And this is where your higher self is saying, be aware of what is happening. It's not just about how much can I acquire and, being Scrooge over there with his millions in his different accounts and everything. Remember, Bob Marley comes out and says that's not going to save you. And that's what this energy that I'm getting is. There's definitely some kind of energy of prosperity or abundance coming through, but they're saying don't get greedy. And it could be financial or it could be emotional or something, because prosperity and abundance have a lot of different meanings when we look at them energetically. So just embrace what comes, but don't focus on the acquisition of having all of it all at once. That's not going to, that will not benefit. So where you're at in your mental attitude, kind of your mindset right now, is the Queen of Wands. You're actually in a really good spot, but it's more of it's a passive knowing. Like Fire, you tend to be really projective, more masculine energy, and I'm not saying male or female here, I'm talking about the energy that's released. And with the Queen of Wands, wands are fire. So this is the passive side of that. You have the knowledge. You've already been here. You've already done this. You've accomplished it. And there's a lot of success there. You're guarding your future. You're taking care of that which is important to you. And there's a pet involved, or it could be a friend, it could be someone who is not as strong as you are, and that's where this more passive side is. There's strength in quiet, and that's where you have accomplished a great deal. The air is really saying mentally you have fortified, strengthened, and grown. Your challenge is to overcome not getting caught up in illusions, but your future is that prosperous energy. This next 1 month, 6 months, or a year is there's some prosperity going on, with a little warning to avoid the greed. But the Queen of Wands is saying you've already done so much that you can stand quietly in your authority, and it doesn't matter what other people are doing, because you will defend that which you have earned literally beyond what other people would, because you earned it. And that's made a huge difference in how this is playing out. And that's where that Sire of Swords is coming in as well for who you are in this moment. That's the totality of you. You know what you've accomplished. The Queen of Wands is saying this is why you have that ability to stand, is you've already done this. You've already accomplished a great deal. So you're in a good spot here. Now, your outside environment, and these are things that are outside of your control, that are your world around you right now, is the Five of Pentacles. And I don't know why this card always brings up, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. This is where you're at. You're walking through some darker times right now, Fire, and it's not anything that you've done intentionally. This is not like, oh, I've made all these mistakes and now I'm having to deal with the trials and tribulations. The trials and tribulations are there to challenge you, to make sure that you are as strong as the Queen of Wands says. She's saying you are strong and you don't need to prove it. This card is saying you don't have to prove it to yourself, but the world around you wants to make sure that you're actually who you say you are. And that's where you get a little bit of this energy of pushback, like but now there's this testing energy that's coming up. So your hopes and fears, you have an interesting blend of cards this month, is the Seven of Pentacles. Your hope is that you will achieve greatness. Your fear is that you're going to be just shy of it. But the overall hope is you've come so far. You've done so much. Your fruit is being ripened as we speak. Like, you can do this. Your fear is what if. That great dream killer, what if. The energy that I'm getting, what if is not going to be the direct problem. The what if is if you believe it. This is that illusion energy. So this hopes and fears, this is where your challenge comes in. This challenge of getting trapped in illusions or in the fairy tales or the dreams, that's what's going to stop you from achieving your hopes. And make sure that you are clear on what it is that you are hoping for or that you're working towards. Your hopes are where we start. It's the dreams. And then we bring them in from hopes into a thought process, into a pattern, into a plan, and manifest. So you've got to start with the hope. And they're wanting you to get clear on that. What is your hope? Well, I'm going to school for nursing. Okay, well, what are you doing with that? Where are you going with this? I want to own my own home. Okay, where are you starting from? I want to own my own business. Where you're starting from. And that's what the hope energy is you see the goal, now you have to figure out the starting point. And get clear on your goal. Don't just start throwing random things out there. Get clear on that. That way when you start to look at it, you can be like, it builds that hope. It builds that joy, that expansion, that desire to continue to move forward. And that's what's going to kind of smooth the path ahead. So you've got an interesting set of cards. That's all I have to say. Your final outcome, because you have a lot of pentacles proving you, testing you, making sure that you actually want what you want. Your indicators right now are the swords, saying this is what you've achieved. This is where your growth has been, is more mental, psychological, very analytical. You've had to build these steps, but now the coins, Earth, is challenging you to make sure that you actually know what you know and you're ready for what's coming, which is benefits and prosperity, but you have to make sure you're ready for that. And because your final outcome is the Sire of Pentacles, which is the Knight of Pentacles. And this is where you're the teacher. You've went through some interesting things, Fire. They're showing some mental struggles, some ups and downs, some losses, some mistakes, but you've come out on top. You're the one with the pentacle. You're the one who succeeded. The outcome here is showing me that you will succeed at anything you put your mind to this next month or so. And it's really saying, but you're also going to be showing the next generation. What you have achieved is inspiring your coworker who's just starting. It could be inspiring your children. It could be inspiring someone else. They're saying that the person you're inspiring is actually going to be someone who is younger than you significantly. They're not saying it's going to be on even playing field. That's a different type of thing. But you've achieved, you've accomplished, you know how to deal with things, whether that's in business where you have to kind of get a little rough and tumble sometimes with words or with paperwork to make things happen, or whether it's in a relationship where you've had to defend your status, you've had to defend your partner, you've had to, however that manifests for you, but you've been there and you've done it. And that's where this Queen of Wands energy is coming forward as well. It's this passive control where I know what I know. I don't need you to tell me what I know. And I don't have to brag about it. This is where I'm at and this is who I am. And that's where the Sire of Pentacles is coming in as well. It's, again, that more passive energy where I've been there, I've done this. I don't have to talk to you about it. The universe is testing you and making sure you're ready to move into the next stage, which is very much about prosperity and abundance, but it's also about teaching. Something is being taught to the next generation here. And you get to live the example. Whether you're teaching them by example or you're teaching through actually standing in a classroom, that's where you're at right now. And kind of an underlying theme that's going on through all of this is the Four of Wands. And it's interesting because right now I'm feeling there's definitely some relationship energy coming on. So there's something here about a bonding relationship. It could be a marriage. It could be a really close friendship. It could be a soulmate situation, which doesn't always mean marriage. You've got some underlying energy here, and this is, they're saying this is supporting energy. So where you're at under kind of like underlying all of this is you've been going through it, but you've had someone to support you. You've been growing, you've been experiencing, you've been changing, but you've had someone be by your side, kind of being devil's advocate at times to make sure that you're not giving up, but also the person who you can rely on to coach you and work you through the stresses. And that's the really beneficial underlying energy that's coming up here is you have a great support system is what I'm hearing. So before we hop into the oracle cards, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and like I said, comment, let me know your thoughts, feelings, and impressions. And if you see something different with the cards, feel free to drop that down below as well. What we'll do is we go through each of the oracle cards. I will announce I'm pulling whichever card. If you have a question, you can pause the video, ask your question, and see if one of the answers from the three cards answers your question. But we'll start off with card number 1, which is face your fears, release the power of the fear. This ties into that past energy where there were mistakes made. There was something going on that you have regretted and you're afraid of doing it again. If you're afraid of doing it again, you might do it again. If you let the fear go and be like, I acknowledge that I made a mistake, I learned from it, and now I'm moving forward. I'm moving into a different part of who I am. And this energy of facing your fears is how you go through this. And I'm not talking about just like the intense paralyzing phobias like spiders and snakes and things like that. I'm talking about the fear of rejection, which can be a phobia as well, or the fear of loss. When you face those, they held no more power over you. Facing your fear shows your courage, shows your strength, shows your ability to move beyond. And this energy of this first card, it's more of a supporting energy. It's coming in saying, fire, you have the passion of the elements, literally. You don't need to be afraid of things. You can be aware of them, be cautious around them. That's actually a healthy thing. But to show absolute fear of getting in a relationship because you don't want to be rejected, you're going to miss out on a lot of things. Fear of not accomplishing something so you won't try it. But what if you succeed? The fear comes into that, the hopes and fears energy, that what if question that literally destroys dreams. Facing that, saying, yeah, well, what if I succeed? Well, what if you fail? Well, what if I succeed? Well, what if they reject you? What if they don't? What if this is the thing that the person that I have been wanting to be with my entire life, and they see the same in me? So when you face your fears, you take that power away from the fear. You take it back, and you're like, no, I'm the one in control of my life. There will be mistakes. I will purposely make them. I'm aware of who I am. And that allows you to move beyond that fear aspect. So that's kind of a good support there. Your second card is 7 Heavenly Virtues, the keys to goodness. 7 virtues, 7 vices. And when we look at the virtues, these are the things that uplift you, that uplift others, that light the soul within. Most people today are walking around with some kind of a light bringer energy within them. There's, star seeds and crystals and rainbows and indigos. Indigo's a little more harsh. But you've got this different groups of people, and they all have something that wakes them up, something that lights them up. And this is that 7 heavenly virtues. Each of us possess multiples of these. We also, possess our vices. But when we really focus on the virtue side of things, the good, the uplifting, the healing, this helps us expand out of the heavier energies. And it can be something as simple as praying each day, help me discover what my virtues are. Help me to see what my virtues are. Allow me to share my virtues with others. And you allow yourself to start to flow them out. There is no greed in this. There is no arrogance with the virtues. That's not how they work. The minute you get arrogance, it'll usually shut them off real fast, actually. So when you start working with these virtues, you're connecting with God's source divine. You're connecting to your higher self. And it's allowing you to understand your shadow and start forgiving things. It also allows you to share light with others, whether that is simply meditating, sometimes just walking into a room. When you're in a good headspace, you can share that with others just by holding that space. And this is the energy that's coming up with the second card. So your third and final card for our Fire family for October bonus reading is the Celebration card. Let go and have fun. I like this little puppy right there. He's a very happy puppy. But celebration, this is where you get to cut loose. Remember, there is the energy of taking a break. It doesn't have to always be work. It doesn't always have to be serious. When you learn to have fun for fun's sake, not because, well, I have to go to this party or I have to do this. When was the last time you put your headphones in and cleaned house? You were dancing with the mop bucket. Like, literally, when was the last time you did that? And if you say you haven't done that, you should try it. It's fun. If you've never danced with your vacuum, if you've never sang into a hairbrush, try that. Find a reason to laugh. Find a reason to really cut loose. It doesn't have to be involving, any extras like drugs or alcohol or any of that kind of stuff. Just learn to have fun being fun and have fun for fun's sake. When you're literally dancing with a hairbrush and you're singing in the bathroom and doing your thing karaoke style, if anyone else saw you, you'd just melt into a puddle of humiliation. Why, I don't know, but we have this in our heads. But when you do it and you have fun, it doesn't matter anymore. You're in the moment, you're in the now, and you're enjoying life. And so your oracle cards are saying, face your fears, release that stuff, take your power back. The 7 heavenly virtues allow the good in you to shine forth. And celebrate life, celebrate living, celebrate fun for the simple fact of having fun. We've become so accustomed to being serious in our world or Fire that it's pointless now. We need to go back to having fun and really enjoying things. It will lighten a lot of burdens and lighten a lot of loads. And that may sound frivolous or, oh, you don't have bills or rent. We all have that. I have it, you have it. But when we learn to smile and find reasons to be happy, the bills don't matter as much. They still get paid. They're still things are getting taken care of. You still have to go to work. But is it more enjoyable or is it miserable? So with that, I will let Fire family go hang out, do your thing. Fire, as you go through this month, enjoy life as much as you can. You have earned a break. You've earned a mental vacation. There's definitely some good things coming in the future here for you. Your past, learn from it. Forgive those that need to be forgiven. Take the lessons forward, but release the pain. And with that, I will let you guys go. Have a great one.